In the early 1990s, something terrifying happened in the heart of Europe. A country that had existed for decades suddenly exploded into violence. Neighbors became enemies, streets filled with fear. Cities that once lived peacefully together were torn apart by war. This country was Yugoslavia. Its collapse shocked the world, but today many people barely remember it. How could one country fall so fast, and why did it become so violent? The answer is hidden deep in history, fear, and broken promises. Yugoslavia was never a simple country. It was made of many people: Serbs, Bosniak, Macedonian, and others. They shared similar language but followed different religions and traditions. Some were Catholic, some were Muslim, and some Orthodox. These groups had long histories of conflict, pain, and mistrust. After World War I, they were pushed together into one state. Unity was expected, but true unity never fully formed. After World War II, one man kept Yugoslavia stable: Joseph Broz Tito. He ruled with strength and control. He allowed different cultures to exist, but crushed extreme nationalism. Under Tito, people had jobs, stability, and peace, but they feared chaos without him. Yugoslavia's balance depended on Tito's alone. And when he died in 1980, that balance quietly began to collapse. After Tito was gone, there was no strong leader to replace him. Power was divided among many politicians who did not trust each other. At the same time, the economy started failing. Price rose, jobs disappeared, people grow angry and afraid. When life becomes hard, people search for someone to blame. That is when dangerous voices grow louder. Politicians began using fear to gain power. They told the people that other ethnic groups were a threat, and the media repeated these messages again and again. Old historical wounds were reopened. Lies were mixed with truth. Slowly, people stopped seeing neighbors as neighbors. They saw enemies instead. National identity replaced humanity. And once that happens, violence becomes easier to justify. In 1991, Slovenia and Croatia decided to leave Yugoslavia. Slovenia left quickly with little bloodshed, but Croatia did not. The Yugoslav army, controlled mostly by Serbian leadership. Fighting spread across towns and villages. Citizens were caught in the middle. What begins as political separation turned into full war. Yugoslavia was no longer a country. It was a battlefield. Bosnia was the most tragic chapter. It was home to different groups living side by side. When war reached Bosnia, there were no clear borders. Friends turned against friends. Cities were surrounded. Snipers targeted civilians. Ethnic cleansing began. People were killed simply for who they were. This was not just war, it was systemic cruelty. The world saw the violence, but acted slowly. International leaders debated while people suffered. Peacekeepers arrived without enough power to stop the killing. Safe zones failed. Thousands of people died, while cameras recorded history. By the time serious action was taken, the damage was already done. Yugoslavia was gone, and its people paid the price. By the mid-1990s, Yugoslavia no longer existed. It broke into several independent countries. The wars left deep scars, massive graves, destroyed cities, broken families. Hatred did not disappear when the fighting stopped. The violence changed the region forever. Peace returned, but trust did not. Yugoslavia's collapse teaches a powerful lesson. When leaders use fear, when history is twisted, and when people stop seeing each other as a human being, even peaceful countries can fall into violence. Yugoslavia did not collapse because people were born enemies. It collapsed because fear was allowed to rule. And that is why its story still matters today. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.